Hey, seventh graders, how you doing? Here we are again. Time for another online learning episode. What I'm going to do here today is we're going to get into Northwest geology. I just want to remind you, we've done a little bit of geology already for the Pacific Northwest. And if you remember correctly, the idea here is that you have the Juan de Fuca plate diving underneath the North America plate, and then it melts when it gets down into the mantle and it bubbles back up, and then you get the Cascade Mountains. So the Cascade Mountains are because we are in a subduction zone where one plate dives underneath the other when it melts because there's moisture in the water. There's moisture in the rock because it comes from out from under the ocean. That it rises up, and then when it reaches the surface, when it doesn't have the rock squeezing on it to keep it pressure to keep it liquid, it quickly turns into vapor. Boom. When it turns into steam, it explodes or at least sprays out the ash. And what it does then, since the continental plate is made of granite, it sort of melts the continental plate. So granite is really what comes up in the Cascade Mountains. It's a granitic type of lava is what it's called. But now what I'm going to tell you about is a totally different kind of thing. It's something that happened in the Pacific Northwest about 17 million years ago that makes eastern Washington unique in this hemisphere. Now, there's some other places on Earth where this same kind of event happened way long time ago. And in Siberia, there's one that was even bigger. But what we have is something called flood basalts. That eastern Washington was once covered by giant lakes of lava about 17 million years ago. It sounds like a long time, but that's not really all that long ago. I mean, when you consider the dinosaurs went extinct 65 million years ago, that was during the age of mammals and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to get to. And then part two is another amazing thing that happened in eastern Washington that's happened nowhere else on Earth. A different kind of flood, not a flood of lava, but a flood of water. And this one here is the largest flood ever known to have happened on the planet Earth. And so we got water and ice in the ice ages, and we got fire and a lake of lava, a sea of lava in eastern Washington. So that's what we're doing today, Eastern Washington geology. So get your notebooks out, get a piece of paper and a pencil. There's not a lot of notes I'm going to have you take on this one, but there's a few key concepts I'm going to have you write down. So notebooks, this is assignment number 24. So get your notebook, fill it out now. Okay, on your notebook assignment sheet, this is going to be assignment number 24. Let's call this one Washington State Geology, okay? Because we are Washingtonians. I'm proud of it. Washington State Geology. Oops, I almost messed that up. Geology. Okay, that's the science of Earth, right? Geo means Earth, like geography, geology, Gaia. Okay, so Washington State Geology, assignment number 24. Number your paper, title it, and let's get on with it. Washington State Geology. Now, we live in the Pacific Northwest here in Puget Sound. I'm going to get to what caused Puget Sound to be there, what created that, in a little while. Okay, but what I want to do is start off first with a story that happened about 17 million years ago. Actually, between 17 and 14 million years ago. So it happened over a period of a few million years. But have you ever driven across I-90? You know what I'm talking about? You go over the pass, over the Cascades, and then you come up. When you get to the Columbia River, there's a bridge that you cross, okay? And if you look at the Columbia River Gorge, I don't know how many of you have ever been to the Columbia River Gorge. If you've never been there, you gotta go there, right? But you'll notice that there are these layers on the side of the rock, on the side of the cliff face. Those layers is what I want to teach about here. Is how did they get there? Because this is an amazingly cool story. And I'll tell you what, almost nobody I know knows how those layers got there. But it's really actually pretty cool. Okay, so anyway, that's what we're going to get into. Those are called basalt layers, layers of a particular kind of rock called basalt. Okay, so let's get to it.